Hey everyone, I'm back with more Subnautica, and a quick note, I've switched to a new mouse and a new keyboard, and hopefully they're both a little bit more quiet than the ones I had in my previous recordings. I know it wasn't a big deal, but it was bothering me a little bit while editing. Now, we're starting looking at this, because there's a problem here. I have 67 salt, 44 lead, 64 copper, 76 quartz. This is a tremendous amount of resources that I just simply don't need, and it got to such a degree that I ended up having to make more Autosort lockers down below. They're still emptying, but they weren't earlier. I had to build 2 more of these because without building them, all of them were full. This one you can see I couldn't finish, so I need more magnetite. Over here, this is all the storage space I have left. Every other locker is completely full, I guess, except for the materials I just built those with. Now, some of this I can solve rather easily. All of this salt right here, I'm throwing this directly into the trash. I simply don't need this. I'm going to add a blacklist to those drilling machines and tell them to stop getting salt. This can go straight into the garbage. I do not need it. And sort of hilariously, rather than wait for the garbage can to eat it, I'm just going to build another garbage can if I can remember where they're at. And this is probably going to come up again in the future. So, there we go. I just missed it the first time through. I am actually going to keep this built in here, because it's going to matter again eventually. In fact, it's going to matter again right now, because I think there's an entire extra inventory, of salt to throw away. So let's go ahead and set these drilling machines to not get salt anymore. I've already done that with sand. I've never been in a situation before in any Subnautica version where I thought building a second garbage can was an efficient use of my time. Weird world. Now, there's probably only one serious gathering run left in the game, because I'm short on titanium and magnetite, but as you can tell from that, I have huge amounts of every other resource, and all of this mining stuff is making it so that I progressively need to gather even less and less. However, to make these, to consume the ores, since I'm going to be getting so many of them, thanks everybody, really appreciate you participating, I need plasteel ingots. That's the main thing. These cost 20 titanium each, and I simply don't have that much titanium. So I want to gather titanium and magnetite for Autosort lockers and ore consumers. That's my goal for today. So another thing that I realized is that the Reginalds I caught and put in an aquarium weren't breeding. So it is alien containment you're supposed to use. They just hadn't had enough time, I guess. And the reason I'm building this now is I'm rebuilding the base in a box properly, because it should have been bigger than it was and I didn't like the position it was in. Although I guess I'm gonna have to call it the temporary base instead of the base in a box that no longer actually exists in a box, does it? So now the base in a box looks like this. I think this is the lowest number of pieces I can use for a bioreactor, a scanner room, an entrance, and as well the breeding tank, which I wouldn't need to bring with me. I would just need to bring this section and the hatch with me, and the rest would stay here. Which means I should move one of the lockers I put in here. It shouldn't be in the section that'll be getting torn down.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
The spearfish locker should be going next to the alien containment as opposed to the bioreactor. Both sort of make sense. One's where they come from, one's where they go. But this is the one that doesn't get in the way of the teardown. It's very weird to go through all this effort building a base just so I can tear it down properly. But we're going to be bringing the scanner room around different biomes to get metal salvage and magnetite. I think that my plan is going to be to just scan for metal salvage here and see what we can do. And then I'm going to go manually to the jelly shrimp caves for magnetite and talk about some other stuff that's happening recently in Subnautica. Yeah, we can scan for metal salvage here, no problem. And I'll catch some fish real quick, chuck them in the bioreactor so that it doesn't run out of power while I'm away. Yeah, there's just plenty around, it's not going to be an issue. Ah. You are not easy to click on. Now, as I run around gathering fish, something cool just happened. There's been a major update for Below Zero. Allegedly, it fixes a lot of bugs. It adds a C-dock for the truck. But, like the fully assembled truck, not the top part that you bring into the moon pool, but you can dock the entirely assembled truck, which is awesome. The main thing it does is it adds a bunch of custom difficulty sliders. You can control everything from like the day-night cycle to hunger rates to damage taken, and the most important one, because as you've seen from this series, is a rather important slider, creature aggression. So, even though it's not quite DeathRun, there are a lot of changes to Below Zero that can make it more engaging to play. I'm looking forward to doing that someday relatively soon, but the issue presently is as the game was just updated, the mods don't really work. As in, the game literally doesn't launch, so we're gonna have to wait for updates for that, which is fine, because I wanted to finish this run first anyway. I feel a little bit bad for throwing all these hoverfish and pinchers into the bioreactor, but oh well, I don't feel that bad. Alright, I think we've sufficiently crippled the local ecosystems, we should probably be able to do everything now. There should be more than enough power to scan for metal salvage in the area. And I think, like, from here, 400 meters out, it's gonna go decently deep into Grand Reef, Safe Shallows, and Crags, so I imagine this is just way more than enough. Of course, with all these range upgrades and no speed upgrades, it's gonna take a while to finish scanning. So first, I'm gonna head to Jelly Shroom Caves to get some magnetite. Now, last time I was getting magnetite in Jelly Shroom, I had the foresight to bring a scanner room with me as opposed to building my scanner room somewhere else, but I think we'll be fine. Fastest entrance would be northeast. Alright, let's see what 220 seconds in the Jelly Shroom Caves of the Super Sea Glide looks like. We probably should have gotten a bit closer before coming down, or rather surfacing for air, because I'm not going to bother surfacing again, I'm just going to go straight down once I find the entrance. But I think this should be enough to get plenty of magnetite. At the very least, it'll get enough magnetite. Gonna swing down here to try to kill this as well. This is the area I've already pretty thoroughly searched for magnetite, so I'm not gonna worry about being around here too much. Gonna try to get back to the other side faster. I think that's magnetites. Yep. It's so dark around here. Little things like fish or just weird textures catch my eye constantly, and I always think they're magnetite. Usually not the case. Don't care about shale. I thought I saw a magnetite over here, but evidently not. This is still the part that I spent a lot more time in. We want to be going... I don't think we want to be going east. I think we want to be going west. Yes, this is the corner, or the edge more accurately. If we head west, we can go into the rest of the Jelly Shroom Caves, which is the area that I haven't really searched very much at all. It is a really beautiful biome. I'm sad I lost the footage of this place. Which mostly consisted of more or less this, just at slightly slower speeds, and my Seamoth exploding off camera. Don't need any of these peepers. Or Oculus, as they're calling themselves these days. They've rebranded. Still got 2 minutes of air left. That should be enough to find a few more pieces of magnetite. I was expecting better luck than this, but not so far. Is there anything in these? Because I didn't come here my first time through. Nah, nothing. Oh well. It might seem like there's not that much magnetite here. If you bring a scanner with you, there's magnetite literally everywhere, you're just not seeing it. The first time I came down here, I was like, holy shit, there's magnetite literally everywhere. I probably didn't even need to bring a scanner. And evidently, that is not the case. Because I'm sure it's everywhere, I'm just not seeing it, which is frustrating. We want to be going west, not east. I've turned around, right? Yeah. We want to go west-northwest to get to the other exit. We have about a minute left, so we need to find that exit before we start searching, really. Otherwise, we will get ourselves killed. So easy to miss magnetite. It's so small and so dark. Doesn't catch the light well. It's just a problem. When I first came back, I'd gotten like 15 magnetite, which is an outrageously high amount. I thought I would never use it all, but Autosort lockers eventually consumed every magnetite I brought home. Looks like my bone shark from last episode just hatched. I didn't realize it while I was recording, only during the editing process. I lost my cuttlefish egg. That thing's just gone. There's no getting it back. It might be on the seafloor where I died, but more likely it's probably just despawned or clipped through the ground forever. I could theoretically bring a scanner room over there and scan for creature eggs. God, I might. Cuttlefish are pretty good. I'm definitely not getting home. We're gonna have to dolphin dive and head back to Slowet. I'll be back with you once I'm searching for all this titanium. Jelly Ray, I don't think you're supposed to be over here. You're way out of your biome, man. Yeah, he's having a rough time of life right now. At least he wasn't trapped inside the wall like that guy apparently was. I've pretty much completely filled this level with lockers at this point. I've got like one more spot I could probably build some lockers around here maybe. If that. I could build 2 here probably if the reinforcements aren't in the way. But we're pretty much out of room for Autosort, so we need to get processing this ore. Even though quartz and copper can't be that valuable, I just need to get rid of it, really. And it looks like we're stuck on plasteel ingots. We're completely out of titanium at the minute. So it's time to get searching on that, but first let me get some of my ore being processed in those 2 functional consumers. And I'm going to assume that copper is more valuable to quartz and start with that. I never imagined there'd be a mod where it's just chucking copper into buckets that destroyed them. But here we are. Most valuable resource being sold away instead of gold or diamonds. Because I've already sold all my gold and diamonds. Now the good news is getting titanium should not take long at all. I could theoretically go to an area with denser salvage, like the crash zone if I was a crazy person. But I figure I can easily get enough salvage, like... I only need 20 pieces of salvage to never care about going for titanium ever again. Or at least that's what I'm assuming is the case, I could be wrong. Because like, how long does it really take to get an inventory of salvage around here? I think this is already full, right? I can get 1 more on my way back. Guess I'll grab this one. Yeah, and just like that, in less than a minute probably, I've gotten 24 pieces of salvage, I think? Maybe 28, I don't know if I have 6 or 7. Pieces of titanium, I meant. Ow, you retain your momentum when you fly through that, good to know. Super Suicide can be dangerous sometimes. Now I should have enough to finish 1 of these, and we can continue processing more shit. Good, we're not bottlenecked on anything else, it was just that. So let's go pick up some more copper and fill up these processors. Alright, and a real quick thing I'm going to show off. With these little mining machines, I'm usually just grabbing stuff out of them because they're already set up. However, you can go here, set it to blacklist instead of filter, and I've already set, or I thought I'd set it to blacklist, but I hadn't. It is set to blacklist, I just forgot to click sand on this one, but I'm going to blacklist sand as well as salt. I don't need either of those. Coming over to here, filters, blacklist on, I don't want salt, I don't want sand. I think my sand filter might not be saving in between saves. I don't know if it just turns off after an amount of time, or if like the save and load is what's breaking it. But all of these are still set to blacklist, but none of them are blacklisting sand, which is very frustrating. I've had so many technical hiccups with this mod. I really like what it adds, but I don't know if it's worth all like the slight frustrations I constantly feel working with it. I'm going to assume it's just that Subnautica was updated at some point and it broke a lot of things, it just hasn't been updated on the mod side since. But man, it's frustrating to deal with. And while I'm here, I guess I should get all of this shit. So in a weird twist of fate, copper is only worth like 2,200 each, which is literally 10% of gold, and yeah, that checks out. However, that means that copper is worth so little that I might start throwing it in the trash relatively soon, because I would rather spend my time processing like anything else. For now though, it's back to gathering more titanium, because we need to finish this next ore consumer. Alright, and that's the second Altera ore consumer finished. And we're just gonna go straight back out because I've used pretty much all 20 of the titanium in my inventory, I imagine. Oh no, weird, I don't know where it pulled that from because it didn't take the salvage I had. But regardless, I guess we're gonna go in here first, and then we'll be back out for gathering more. Although, honestly, if I have that much spare titanium, I can just call it done, really. Okay, quartz is worth 6,000 each. That's not much, but it's way better than copper. I bought 2 more things, the power storage kit and the Altera solar cluster. These sort of go hand in hand. The Altera solar kit sadly doesn't go here. I was really hoping it did. Can it go there on an unoccupied platform? It can. It looks a little bit terrible. There, that's mostly level. Okay, maybe my whole base isn't really level. Let's try again. I give up, it's never gonna be level, but here we go. We now have this rotating solar platform. I believe it actually, yeah, it's angling towards the sun. Very, very cool. Not quite sure how good that is for power, but something that's going to be very, very helpful for power once I figure out where to build it. Power storage, this goes inside, I think. Looks like it needs a whole room to itself. That's okay, I'll put down another room here, I guess. Is that wall going to be blocked by lockers? It's fine. If it is, I can just move them. And also, it is 100% gonna be blocked by lockers, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. I can actually get in. Cool. So this interior piece... Wait, no, it wasn't an interior piece. What was it called? Was it an exterior module and I'm an idiot? Yes. Alright, it's fine. We're gonna keep that part of the base and pretend it wasn't a mistake. Also, I don't actually know what percentage we're at right now, so I'm just gonna slap on a reinforcement, make sure the hull is safe. We're at 18.2, just like comically far from being worried about it. It's fine. Now, this thing is so big that I can't really tell what it's supposed to look like or be on top of. If you want to be there, you can be there. Now, what that does is it banks excess energy, which for a base with this much solar power seems really, really intelligent and efficient to do. Our current max power is 13,000. We're done with power. Power is handled. The nuclear reactor is a small and inconsequential part of our total power system at this point. I say that, without the nuclear reactor, we'd be screwed because our power is actually going down right now. Huh. And it's the daytime. Well, that's no good. They've also got this thing, which gives you just energy for free, I guess, basically. We can teleport our energy to other places. We can get a wind turbine farm. A biogenerator that looks cooler. I'm gonna get another solar cluster. I'm still not quite sure, like, in universe, what this is supposed to be doing. Because wherever this is getting its stuff from, I would just like to get in the drone and have it take me there. Also, where is my drone? It should have been there and flew away. Whatevs. Anyway, let me bring this down a bit, because it's slowly been drifting away from the base and starting to bother me. Apparently I need another beacon. I don't have any with me. What else do I need to be doing? I should probably turn off my scanner. I'm gonna get another load of salvage before I turn it off, because I feel like I'm building more base. I'm gonna run out of titanium eventually. Probably should have like checked how much titanium I had and not just immediately went out to get more on the assumption that I'd run out. A little bit paranoid there. In fact, I was so over-eager to go get more titanium that I forgot to activate Super Seaglide. This is a travesty. Alright, and the time it took me to actually go get the titanium, my order was already shipped. Nice. I'm gonna just haphazardly slap it on top of the tubes. Nice. Not going to, but cool that I can. Gonna put this one over here. And that's another solar panel done. Let's see how our power's looking now. Are we still draining? We're climbing. Okay, good. Let's go check out that nuclear reactor. Are we running out of rods? Do we need to replenish those? There's a good chance that is the case. These all still say reactor rod, and I think they change over to being like a depleted reactor rod or something. So I think we're good there. Alright. Our ridiculous solar power and nuclear power stuff is finally... I guess it's all the ore processors, right? That would be the real answer. It's possible they've finished doing their job, and that's the only reason it looks like I'm okay, so let's throw some stuff into them. I'll get my diamonds back eventually. My inventory is still full of salvage. I love the Autosort lockers so much. Alright, we're gonna give it all the diamonds I have, all the gold I have. We'll just get more of this over time. It's not important to me. And I'll fill out the rest of it with silver and lithium. And again, it's just weird to me that I'm like, yeah, copper, silver, lithium, it's all kind of not that important. These drills do give you different resources depending on which biome they're in, but because these are technically in the Grand Reef, I'm getting very good resources. So, like, it's not really limited by where you are in the game. And for some reason, crystalline sulfur is given from Grand Reef, which just seems like an oversight to me. I think that's the main issue with it. They shouldn't be getting this resource from this biome. Yeah, I don't think any of those are processing, so we might actually still be hemorrhaging power when the processors are on. Which will be fine, because most of the time they won't be on, and then when they are on, the batteries will make up the difference. And just get lithium and silver in roughly equal parts for this last one. Okay, with all my ore processors on, we are steadily going up still. Nice. Alright, we're good. My beacon's where it should be. My power is looking better, although a little bit off-center. I can't really fix that. Scanning base is actually a proper scanning base. I should turn it off, though. I don't need this anymore, and it's making my screen hideous.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I'm guessing this is the direction of the crash site based on the massively higher density over here. But regardless, we're done. Alright, so now the question becomes, what is our next goal? Because it's time to go get started working on that. I don't actually know I'm using the sea moth just yet, do I? I might be taking the Cyclops out. I don't care about these heat areas, let's just get those off the map. I have a couple of active life pods left on. I have life pod 13 and 2. Those are mushroom forests and floating islands. I think, honestly, I have no intention of using the Cyclops unless I'm going down to Lost River. When I go to Lost River, I want to use the Cyclops. But except for that, like traversing from anywhere to anywhere else with the Cyclops sort of sucks. Lost River, it's fine. It's a huge subterranean cave system. But the middle of the map is high ground. And if you want to go around the edge, the dunes, the mountains, and the crash zone are like the middles of each edge. So yeah, I'll be taking the Seamoth up here to start working on those 2 life pods. Ignore me while I drunkenly fall into the moon pool next to my Seamoth. Okay, so we're gonna head straight to life pod 13, and I'll be back with you once we cross over into the mushroom biomes. As soon as I've oriented myself towards them, let's go. Are these guys off? No, they're going, we're good. Guys, I'm trying to browse Amazon, please stop. Look, you aren't able to fight me. I'm in a Seamoth, what are you doing? I'm a substantially larger predator than you. Yeah, I've got it set to blacklist, filter off, blacklist on, enable filters too, but it's still getting sand and salt. So these filters not only don't save, they don't work to begin with. Kind of frustrating. Just gets what it gets, I guess. And as you can tell, I got sidetracked browsing Amazon and figuring out what I needed to buy. I'm buying a pair of quantum teleporters. I don't know exactly what that entails, but it sounds amazing. And the issue with that is that I don't quite have enough money to buy a pair of quantum teleporters, thus me coming back to handle my drillers and put more stuff in the processors. Oh my god, I've just had, like, an absolute genius moment. What am I doing with my life? We're gonna drop this directly next to these processors. We're gonna put a hatch on it. It should be powered because it's next to these solar cells. Right? Are you real? No, these are stealing your power. That's fine. We'll build you your own power cell. Anyway, now you work. So I've disconnected the solar panel. I built 2 Autosort lockers in here. Do they work without power? Oh, they don't. That's a travesty. So I do have to power this. This might not actually work because of how stupid this is, where it's sending the power to this deep driller, but this still says it has 150 power as well, but it's not going up, but it's night. Let me go take a nap. Hey, it works now, cool. So now, rather than getting these and swimming all the way back up like I've been doing this entire time, I can just turn around, hop in, and throw them into these Autosorts. The reason I built 2 is that I expected I'd get so much stuff so quickly that I'm going to immediately fill up one and just turn around and use the other one. I might have to build more than 2 in the long run. Especially if I keep getting small ones, which I might. Yeah, that's so much easier to do now. Before I was regretting making 3 of these, they were such a hassle to use, but now it's not a problem at all, and I can probably justify making more. Because in terms of money spent per ore generated, they are tremendously better than the big ones. Let's get exact numbers on that. These generate 12 ores per day and the big ones generate 25. Let's just make the math easy for ourselves and call it double. And coming over here, you can see that it's triple the price basically for the deep driller heavy as opposed to double, making these a little bit more efficient, but non-automated. Probably not worth it then. Probably better to figure out how to automate these properly. I haven't really looked at my base from any other angles in a while. I think I want to move where that's stocked so I can get all of my base in one angle here. But like, yeah, it's pretty outrageously large at this point. The farm's down there, more mines down there, Cyclops Dock, moon pool, more multi-purpose rooms than you can shake a stick at, ridiculous power generation. This just platform of DLC tier modding nonsense. I like it. I like how big and sprawling the base is, and I like the scanner base being over here and invisible as opposed to just disassembled in a box. Anyway, we're gonna use the Super Sea Glide to travel 40 meters into our Seamoth. Very efficient use of our time. And then we're going to take the passage the rest of the way. I think this is the one in the... yes, this is the one in the mushrooms. And I'll see you there. We're about to enter the mushroom forest, but more importantly, our bank account is about to hit 1.5 million credits, which is enough to buy a pair of teleporters. I don't know exactly how they work or what they do, but I understand the idea of teleportation being awesome. Now, if I recall correctly, there's a crash around here that I would like to check out. Oh, it's way further north than this. Let's do the life pod first then. And before any of that, let's go to Amazon, check out my cart, and buy this immediately before my account breaks and they steal my money again. Now, there's a cuttlefish here. Hopefully I don't lose this one to nonsense involving a dog pile of leviathans and a warper ripping me out of the vehicle I'm in. But I don't quite remember where the giant mushroom oh, I found it immediately. It's right here. It's just right next to where I'm going. Well, let's deal with this first. Before I do, let me just ping real quick. You're sort of not attached to your mushroom, buddy. Alright, I'm not seeing any leviathans floating around above me. I don't even see any predators in this biome. I feel very safe here. I don't think of the mushroom forest as being early game, but I guess it is, and I'm just wrong about that.
Integrating new PDA data.
Is this also one where there's just like literally nothing here? It's just showing me the area exists? Fair enough, I'll listen to it. Okay, so two things. First, we need to listen to the life pod log from last episode because I forgot to do that as well. But two, when I pop out, you'll notice that I swim around a little bit fast still. Super Seaglide is still active because the CMOL for some reason doesn't count as being on land or in water, so it doesn't reset the glitch. Cool, I did not realize that.
I'm not really a doctor. I know that's what my ID says, but I never have been. Cheated the medical exams. What does a doctor these days need to know about manually resetting bones? When was the last time a top surgeon actually cut someone open? That's what the robots are for. Doctors
I'm gonna treat this one better.
read diagnoses off of computer readouts. For that, I'm perfectly qualified. But what good is it when I'm not connected to the main network? I'm bleeding. I've got glowing green pustules growing on my hands. I run a self-scan and it tells me I've got skin irritation. The only thing I studied in medical school was how to lie convincingly. What the hell do I know about how to treat an alien disease? I think I'm actually going to die down here.
That's one of the logs that I really, really like. I don't know why I'm such a fan of that one in particular. I'm not a fan of this frame rate I'm getting. Mushroom Forest plus Super Seaglide is not a fun time with more mods to make it have higher draw distance.
Entering planetary atmosphere.
My creators, the cherishers and sustainers of worlds, give me this day my daily pleasures as I give to those who seek pleasures from me.
External temperature approaching critical levels.
Show me the path. In life, truth, and love for mine is the power. I am the one, on and off and on again.
Impact imminent.
Life is a game which the universe plays with itself. I am done playing as this bundle of flesh. Return me.
Really soothing sounds that go along with skirting the edges of very dangerous biomes. Oh, reefbacks! I feel safe now. Never mind. There is one trick reefback in the game, but there might be more than one, I just don't remember them. I'm very afraid of that possibility at the minute. I didn't mean to come here with Super Seaglide, but now that I've done it, I'm not gonna go out of my way to cancel it. Oh right, there's a second blood kelp zone, and that probably means a gulper. Let's just back away from that. Let's look at it from a good distance. Hi buddy, you okay? Yeah, I forgot about the second one. Seamoll's over here, and I would like to not drown. It's not that far away, but it's far enough to cause me some anxiety. No, my frame rate's kind of trash here, but, like, can anyone else see anything on the floor? I didn't remember these areas being so empty. And also, I've been, just not growing acid mushrooms or gel sacks for literally no reason. My frame rate is so bad. The Super Seaglide's just ruining this even more than it's already difficult. Alright, there's the wreck northeast of us. Oh, the blood kelp zones have different colors. There's blood kelp and then blood kelp 2. Very originally named. I didn't know this. And yeah, it makes sense they aren't the same biome, because ampules aren't in the other one, I don't think. No, they are. That's completely false. I ran into one there earlier. I legitimately just see nothing of value on the ground. I'm gonna restart my game and my computer as well, because my frame rate's just abysmal. I can't handle this. Actually, having gotten the cuttlefish, having gotten the life pod, we'll pick up with this next episode. Hopefully my performance will be better, because it's been rough this last couple of minutes. I'm rather coherent. I hope you're still enjoying the series. I hope you like the episode. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube algorithm nonsense, and I'll see you in the next one.